Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Dom, and we're here to talk about unusual options activity. Alright, disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. The statements made in this programming are solely the opinion of the show and are not a specific inducement to make an investment. One must perform their own due diligence and realize that all investments carry risk. There's no guarantee of profit. Okay, so first one I want to talk about today is Facebook. Now, it's kind of tough for me to come on here and talk about these trades, especially when I've been doing a lot of day trading here. Now, you can see all this volume here. They're buying these calls that expire this week, this Friday, in a few days here. 68,000 contracts traded of this week, 210 calls. Now, I got into this one around mid-morning, and we day traded. We got out. So it's kind of tough for me to come on here and start talking about trades that I've already kind of completed. This market is just extremely volatile, and you got to take your profit when you have it. There's no more of these, at least in my experience, no more of these 100, 200% returns. Sometimes you get lucky, but it's just a very tough environment here. I've been doing a lot of day trading here, so I'm coming on and talking about this trade after I already completed it. I will look at this one again tomorrow here. I'm not sure if they're buying for news. I have no idea why they're buying, but I liked the flow that I saw. I liked the activity, so we did a little bit of a day trade here. Like I said, we did a day trade, so it's extremely volatile environment. So, somebody going out and buying these tomorrow is a whole different day, a whole different thesis. So that's just something to be aware of. Obviously, the calls are pretty cheap from where they were this morning because the stock closed down around $4. If you just take a look here at this chart, we were able to get in somewhere in the morning here and just ride a little bit of this upward bullish trend here. But obviously the stock is just in a huge downtrend, at least for the day if you're day trading it. So it was a little bit risky on the call side, but you still can make money on calls in bear markets. I'm not saying we're in a bear market, but we might be headed to one. We might not. I've just been focusing on kind of holding my long-term positions and keeping my conviction there, and then just doing some day trades here and there just to try to make some profit and boost up the P&L. Haven't really been taking any losses in any stocks, especially long-term holds. Obviously, I buy some stocks for trades. It doesn't work. You have to cut the loss. But yeah, just overall here, kind of a longer term chart here. Facebook is just in a terrible downtrend ever since earnings. So it is, risky to play this one on the call side here. I just liked all the volume I saw, liked all the calls. This thing is almost at a pandemic low, which is just nuts. You look at some of these software stocks, and they're literally at pandemic lows, which is just a little crazy. Things are really, really taking a beating. Now, next one I want to talk about is the ARK Innovation ETF here. Now, people are coming in here and buying puts. Now, this is a pretty late trade here. I don't know if I'm going to consider taking these puts here, especially just because of how expensive they are and how much this ETF, Cathie Wood's ETF, has sold off here. It is just kind of relentless here. It's pretty much at the peak of the pandemic. A lot of people say a lot of these stocks are pretty overvalued here still. I'm not really so sure about that. You look at some of these stocks trading at 10 times sales or so. That's about back to the historical average for some of these high growth software names. This person could be right. Next couple of days it could trade lower, but I'm a little cautious here going short on this innovation growth ETF here. But other people out there, it kind of depends on your sentiment as well. Do you want to take the trade? What's your analysis here? Obviously this ETF is just in a nasty downtrend. It probably will continue, but I am kind of reluctant to press the bet here of going short, considering how much this ETF has just fallen. But letting you guys know that there's some call activity out there. I know there's a lot of bears roaming around, a lot of people against Cathie Wood. So there's some hedge funds, some institutional traders, it looks like to me, stepping in here and buying puts. So if you're interested in that trade, there's definitely one to keep an eye on. I will probably take a pass, but there is some nice flow, some nice orders that I like that I saw here, but just my kind of sentiment on the whole thing, probably going to take a pass on this one. So thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. If you have not subscribed, make sure to already. I appreciate all the support from everybody, all the likes, all the comments, all the subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Trying to bring you guys the best content here. It's a little rough with the market, just so choppy. It's not really headed. I guess it is headed in one direction, lower, but it's just extremely choppy. You got to pick the right time to get in on the daily. Otherwise, you're probably going to end up losing money, especially on these shorter term calls and longer term ones too. With options, you have to time it pretty much perfectly. Otherwise, you're just fighting to get even, which is always a losing strategy in my opinion. So make sure leave a comment down below if you got any questions. I'll definitely share as much knowledge as I have. It's a tough market environment for all of us, but I'm just staying involved here, keeping learning and putting in a little overtime here, studying stocks and listening to earnings calls, because I am trying to be a winner in this, not a loser. So once again, thanks for everyone who's been subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.